problem is Kiefer. Kiefer is allowing criminals to get away. Kiefer is allowing people under the influence to drive. That's what you're doing, Kiefer. So, Craig, if you can hear me, come out.
Krabee, isn't it? Is his name?
Oh, Krabee.
Krabee. K-R-A-B-B-B. Right, exactly.
Okay. Krabee, come out. I know you can hear me. Or maybe your friend. If he's not here, employees, if you know him, let him know that a true mother came to protest because she cares about her children's life. She's not a crazy mother. If I was crazy and didn't care about my child's safety, then I wouldn't be standing here.
You know, Jackie,
you're failing the system.
the sergeant, the supervisor for Krabee called me today.
Oh, he did?
He did, and he wanted to know why we're upset. And the reason why we're upset is that if you hadn't stood your ground to protect your child because she was sick and there's COVID-19, Krabee wouldn't have had any problems handing your child over to
a criminal.
A criminal. I call him a POS. His name is Barnhart.
Barnhart.
Right? And he goes by Raymond Barnhart or Raymond Joseph Barnhart or Raymond Joseph Barnhart Jr. Right? He's got 4 convictions and he's got 1 pending. And the one he had the pending was January 2019. 2 months later, he's doing excessive driving, unsafe driving. So this guy has no respect for the law. If he has no respect for the law, he's not going to have any respect for his child. But the reason why we're here is that did Deputy Krabee ask him if he had his driver's license?
No, he didn't.
Right. Did he check if he had car insurance?
No, he didn't.
And did he check to see if his car had proper restraint for your daughter?
No, he didn't.
Right. You see, so cowboy Krabee came out with his cowboy hat and told Raymond Joseph Barnhart, you should file a restraining order. You want to finish off the rest?
Yes, because you are such a great dad. You have a record of 2 DUIs.
Hey, oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, cut this short. Eddie George is on the scene. Please take over. This is a great day for me.
Hey, what's up, John? Hey, so what's happening? Can you tell me, I heard a little bit about your story.
We're using precautions for right now. How do you feel about our town with felonies such as DUIs driving? And we've been having a lot of stories right in town.
Oh yeah, we've covered a lot of them.
About those 2 girls that were 21 years old and their life got
This is Eddie George. Eddie George.
Yes. Okay. So this is the issue that I need your help. And we're all here. Obviously, I'm not the only one. But the issue is that on Friday, the 25th of Christmas, my daughter was diagnosed, well, she is diagnosed with acute bronchitis. I don't know if you know that. So it's a virus that it's not like anything. You have to take good proper. Right now we're standing, it's freezing. Obviously we're here with jackets. But this child is my daughter. She's 3 years old and 4 months. And she was diagnosed in 2019. And this has to happen with marijuana, secondhand smoking, and weather exposure. Now, on your page, you know, people don't believe in the pandemic. Some of them do.
Right.
I do. You know why? Right here, this is my aunt. She's a survivor.
She's got the virus? Oh.
And how does it affect you? How does it feel?
A lot. It's a very bad situation for us to us because I am a survivor from the COVID, and to see my niece, you know, going through this suffering with the 3 years old and the weather, and she gets sick every time she goes to the father. She's always sick. Just recently was the 26th when she called. The thermometer didn't work. I had to go and buy one for her. Was the $60? It's nothing for us.
Right.
Money is not the issue. To see this girl sick all the time, and she has to go in this weather, and the father doesn't understand. That's not a father.
Now, you say the father has smoking drugs issues?
Yes,
with the
He
kid?
has a criminal record, and I have the facts. He has 2 DUIs. one was in April 2014. Correct me if I'm wrong, John.
No, you're right.
Okay, then
April 19th.
after the first
Oh, 5 days before that, he was convicted of, what is that? I hate to use those words. Being a sex offender, sleeping with a 17-year-old, and he's 20, so statutory rape. And the only reason why they caught him is because he was driving under the influence.
Yeah.
And luckily she didn't die. Because here's the sad part, Jackie. I don't want to upset you, but if this guy had driven with her and she died and had a manslaughter charge, he would have been in prison for 10 years right now, and you wouldn't have had your daughter. So that's mean for me to say that, but the point is isn't it weird how God allowed him to live? He gets charged for being a sex offender and continues to have 2 unsafe driving, and now he's currently 2019 in January he has hit and run. Under the influence, hit and run. He ran so he couldn't get tested. But 2 months later, he got an unsafe driving, which he admitted to.
Did he have the child with him at any
No child, right? No child at the time. But the thing is prior to this, Dickerson had given her custody of the child. But Elaine Keifer says, no, father has rights. No, a father has no rights if he's an alcoholic and risks the lives of his child.
Because if that was one of us, we would lose it in a heartbeat, you know?
Right. And this is the first time I ever heard of somebody that has a pending criminal action get custody of their child 50-50. Now, I could see that he gets visitation, allowed visitation under supervision, right? But he's actually, did he just get this week to...
He's been granted 50-50, if I'm not mistaken, since April of 2018. There's a step 3 parent plan. So of course it was restricted visitation, and I did have a restraining order, and I had a restraining order because check this out. A father wouldn't fight over a crib, I'm assuming. So when I separated, because I think like a mother first, I'm not gonna think like a woman. I don't know if you have kids, grandkids of your own, but I'm speaking on my own. I think like a mother. So my aunt, I called her and I said, I need to get out of this toxic relationship. We both start packing our stuff right away. He comes, right? He's drunk, obviously. He's aggressive. So, you know, when you're drunk, you have no idea what the heck you're doing.
Exactly.
So I was getting my stuff, and he was fighting over a crib. A crib. Knowing that my child needed that crib. It wasn't because I wanted the crib. Or did he wanted my daughter to sleep on the floor? So he's being abusive, calling me names.
We'll see if Lori can sign
names
it.
that little boy
You ever
has
met
called.
Lori Kane, his
And
wife?
gets the
It's in the
table
black guy.
and throws it at my aunt's hand.
She's another one, Susan.
And then he pushes me against the wall. So what I did was I called 911. They came, it took them a minute, and that's when he got arrested. And Dickerson at that time, he did grant it.
Exactly, Roxanne.
So I felt safe. And he granted
people
restricted
from him.
visitation.
Oh,
But it
Yeah.
changed when
Did you get
Kiefer,
her signature?
Elaine Keifer at the Emmett Court came and made it a nightmare, Eddie. I need your help. I'm not just saying it because of me. What if you're driving and my ex, he has to come in town,
Right.
kills you,
Exactly.
kills an innocent
Oh,
child?
don't forget that boxer who killed that lady, and you right?
And we have, like she said, the DUI that we had, you know,
Yeah.
that killed the
Right.
people from Lowe's.
The victims pay the price, and the DUIs they get
away with it.
they get away with it
Slap on the
because the court system makes money on this DUI. Because if you get one DUI, if you're second one, you should be locked up. But this,
What is your thoughts on a public that's watching us on Hemet News? I mean,
well,
what would you do?
what would I do? The public?
I mean, I'm asking the public, what would you feel if this was your child? You know, you're down here wanting to recall these judges, and
This
I
deputy
think,
right here. Can I just tell you what he did?
yeah, let's
So
talk about this.
Deputy Krabee, if you're here, remember when you came to my house on the 25th and I came out crying? I was standing literally right by my door, and you allow me to get harassed. And when I say harassed, I was crying and I was telling him, you're here. I thought he was going to protect me, but you failed to be a deputy. I told you my child was sick, that she was vomiting, that she had a fever, and that I communicated with her father about this, and I was trying to explain myself. You know what you did? Let me show you. Stop. You violated the order.
Can you do that
And you are
to
wrong.
Daddy's public? What did he say to you? Can you do it to our camera?
You told me, stop. You violated the order. That is a felony. He's the father. And can you just turn the phone? That's how close my ex was.
Okay, your ex was right here?
Yes.
Where was the officer?
Right where you are.
Where I'm at. So both of them are standing here
And I'm
teaming up
standing
on
right-
you.
Yes.
Right.
He never took the
Look,
phone.
you know what's weird? What's weird, Eddie? I've had a lot of domestic violence cops coming at me. No, don't move, Mr. Barnhart, right? And you know what they did? They always let me, Mr. Denloff, the POS, stand way over there in the car, handcuffed while they walk up to the mom, and she's spitting. I've got custody of my 3 glass kids with 2 different baby mamas because of
Let
that.
me ask you this: what happened? Where was you at when all this happened?
About the
police-
incident about this.
Yeah.
On the 25th.
Was you on your property? Or
It was on my property.
Her
So you
apartment.
were at home.
Yeah. Like, this is okay. And then I just want to cut it real fast because I want Natalie to share something.
Okay.
So I'm standing right here on my door. So Eddie, would you consider that a public place for someone to harass you and record you?
What?
If you're at your house.
If you're at your house.
Like,
where-
The ex was recording her.
So the ex was actually on your property as well.
Her apartment.
Yes.
In your apartment.
Well,
Yes.
outside.
Because my house, you don't have the key to my house.
Right.
So it's my privacy. And he allowed him to laugh and harass me. And you know what he did? Go take her to court. You're getting it. Here's the number. This is what you need. And I was crying.
Yeah, she was
Because it hurt
crying.
me.
So how did you violate the order?
I don't know.
This is what it is. The order states that on Christmas Day at a certain time, the father gets the kid. But the child was sick. She had doctor's note that the child has bronchitis. We're also living under the world of COVID-19. If a child is sick, they don't get exchanged. But in this case here, Deputy Krabee did not follow procedures to keep her safe and keep him safe. He could have gotten violent, and there was only one deputy, right?
Yeah.
This is a domestic violence issue that Krabee didn't know how to deal with it. He was more of a man thing. Let's go get this woman. And I honestly, I know George, Eddie, I know you want me to keep it out, but this guy is a cowboy, all right? This other guy is an American citizen, even though it's a Puerto Rican. Over there, he's not a U.S. citizen, but you know, he's a U.S. citizen as long as he lands here. The thing is both of these guys was treating her like a dreamer. We have to call her a dreamer now. We used to be able to call her other things, but
Right.
the
They
politically
look censored
correct,
and everything.
right? She's a dreamer. She works at. Where do you work?
I work for him at Unified.
Yeah, she works here, right across the street, San
I work
Jacinto
for
Unified.
I don't think my job would have me working if I was
Right.
a crazy person.
Well, let me ask you this: when this issue actually went down, did you actually call
Exactly,
the
Cecilia.
deputy here and talk
I
to
caught a
anybody or the
surgeon. I
supervisors?
called back to the receptionist. I honestly don't remember the name of the surgeon, but it was kind of like another one, like Krabee. He was telling me all these nonsense about Hitler and the First Amendment, and then I told him, well, I just felt like your officer was not professional. And you know what he said? Excuse me, ma'am, are you telling me that I need to correct my officers with that tone? So I was like, forget it. I'm not going to argue with you. I said goodbye and God bless.
Next time the answer is yes. The answer is yes. You wouldn't get correct.
But this
Here's the
is
best.
You know, I deal with a lot of PD out here, and you know, even like with him at PD, they always tell us, you know, if you see a problem with our officers, you know, we want to know so we can correct it.
But I didn't feel that.
You didn't feel that way.
I felt intimidated.
Well,
And to this day now, Eddie, everybody, if you're listening, I would never make a phone call to the police. You know
But see,
why?
that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Because if you're illegal or if you're a dreamer, you have the right, just as an American citizen, to call the cops to get their protection. I've heard that straight from Chad Bianco. I've heard that from many cops. Good cops have said that. But here's the best part. The lady that's standing next to Jackie, Lizzie, is Natalie. And Natalie is defending all these people that has came out of the woodwork through your group, right? Every time she makes a post or somebody makes a post. And here's the best part about Natalie. The Marietta Police Department decides to come and arrest her. But homeless people get cited and released. They arrest her. Why did they arrest you, Natalie?
Tell me your story, Natalie.
She's not just an attorney, but she's also a mom that has been abused. And Kiefer, it started off with Dickerson.
It started off with Dickerson in 2017. And I've been a legal professional for over 20 years. I've never seen so much injustice and dysfunction than I have in the Riverside Court system.
And if you will, hang on a second, the ones behind you, if you will, be quiet a little bit.
Yeah,
because
please.
They're going to hear y'all more than they will.
Yeah, I'll get a little closer.
All right, go ahead.
I've been in a very contentious divorce. My ex was abusive during the marriage, and he continues to be abusive. And what the courts do not understand is that emotional abuse is just as disturbing as physical, and it continues.
It's worse.
It's worse. And what these judges do not understand is the concept of narcissistic abuse, and it continues. And they're doing this by alienating our children from us, and the courts are enabling this abuse time and time again with their irrational decisions, as I have experienced, as Lizzie has experienced, and many others have experienced. And I'm pleading with anybody who has had issues with the court system in Riverside, with family court in particular, or criminal court, please contact us. We are in an effort to recall Judges Dickerson and Kiefer. They need to be retired. Enough is enough.
Is there a number that we can call?
Well, on Facebook, we have a group, Recall Elaine Keifer. Her last name is spelled Kiefer. And so how it started was 4 years ago. Judge Dickerson had made an order where both my ex and I had to agree on the school our son was to attend. My ex goes and places him in a school without my consent.
And how old is your son?
At the time he was 3.
Okay.
Now he's 7. I bring to Judge Dickerson's attention that this school, Promise Lutheran in Marietta, has numerous violations from the child care licensing, which is an agency of the state of California.
Right.
For a lack of supervision of kids, just a variety of issues.
So you were just uncomfortable your kid
I was
being
uncomfortable, and I brought it to his attention. Your Honor, just put our son in a different school. My ex put him in that school without my consent in violation of your court order. What does Judge Dickerson do? He takes away my education, my decision making as to education for our son.
And why is that?
No rationale. Just because I brought up the issue of, he just wanted to shut me up.
Wow.
And so, and that was a temporary order in 2017 or 2018, I believe. Temporary has now gone on to be 3 years. So then, what does Judge Kiefer do? So you know how alienation works. They triangulate. They narcissists get other people on their side
and make
to then and make me look like a crazy one. So he gets the people at the school to work against me, and they and my ex want me to pick up and drop off my 5-year-old son from the parking lot. And what does Judge Kiefer do? And all I'm saying is, Your Honor, there's issues with this school. Here's the evidence, because I got all the violation notices. What does Kiefer do? Orders me to pick up and drop off my 5-year-old son from the parking lot of this school. And I wasn't even able to participate in his education.
Just drop him off in the parking lot?
Yes,
Literally
right.
a 5-year-old.
A 5-year-old.
Are you serious?
Yes,
in the parking lot and drop this kid off.
Right,
They gave him
in
to
the
Eddie
parking
House.
lot. So they had somebody
In the parking
come
lot.
take him from the school. And so I can't even participate in his education. So what is my son thinking, my 5-year-old? Oh my gosh.
Mommy's abandoning me.
Yeah, mommy's abandoning me. My mommy's not respected. Maybe this is the way women should be treated. I mean, who knows what he's thinking. And then what does she do recently? So when COVID hit, this school was in-person learning. And I was homeschooling my son. And just recently, Judge Kiefer took away my visitation and limited me to 3 weekends a month, when all I wanted was remote learning and put him in a public school where I too can participate. And she just took away my time with my son. But not just that. Listen to this other issue, okay?
She doesn't read any
She
of the
doesn't.
documents.
She doesn't care about anything.
At all.
So listen to this. This is egregious too. My ex and I had a house for sale. Judge Kiefer asked my ex to give me the names of 3 realtors. I picked this guy, this one guy. Then once I signed the listing agreement, this realtor shut me out. Like he belittled me. He wasn't paying attention to what I wanted to say. Judge Kiefer gave this realtor sole authority to value my house, prohibited me from having an appraisal done on our house. So, I mean, and then what she did, so then I found out once this realtor started shutting me out of the transaction, I looked him up and I realized, oh my gosh, because he had his personal address on the Department of Real Estate website, his address, he was next door neighbors with my ex's attorney, the realtor was. Not just that, I went onto the attorney's Yelp page and I found out that the realtor had made a comment on his attorney neighbor's website saying thank you for the legal services. So there was not only a conflict of interest with respect to being neighbors.
Sounds like somebody's got a small circle over here.
Exactly.
Yes, there was also a conflict of interest of, attorney-client relationship between my ex's attorney and the neighbor.
And then a third of this real estate's listings came from court cases that were tried in Kiefer's courtroom.
Wow.
So
Right.
this is
there's some kickback or collusion going on.
Yeah, I smell fish in this story.
Right. And
know?
so then what happens? So this realtor sat on the property for a year. I go back in with my attorney. We want a new realtor. She forces him to be the realtor. Any reasonable person, any reasonable judge would have assigned a new realtor because this realtor wasn't able to do his job. Well, then he gets a really lowball offer, goes to court, and gets a lessor. So basically, I refused to sign his continued listing agreement, and I refused to sign any of the offer papers because I had done an appraisal, and I knew how much my house was worth, and he was selling it for thousands of dollars, way below market.
So he was getting the gold mine and giving you the shaft.
Yeah.
Basically, what you're getting.
So then what happens? He goes to court and asks Judge Kiefer to force the sale of the house at way below market when I had attached an appraisal. By this time, the realtor was before the real estate local board because and he was there was going to be a hearing for ethics violation. All this evidence was before her, but what did Judge Kiefer do? Force the sale of my house, ordered the court clerk to sign off on all the escrow papers, all the documents needed for the sale of my house.
Sounds like we got a dirty judge in town.
Yeah.
We do.
So definitely.
Yeah.
You guys are actually down here doing recall these judges, taking signatures. How many signatures do you have to
We need about 10 more
We need
10
to start the recall.
Start the process.
to start
Yeah.
the process?
process.
And then we're going to need
But also, I
thousands.
want everybody to write to the Commission for Judicial Performance, which is an agency of the state to report corrupt and biased and discriminatory and unlawful judges. And I want you also to write to the presiding judge of the Riverside Superior Court,
What's his name?
John Monterosso. We need to bring to light what is going on in our court system and the corruption and collusion and the unethical behavior of these judges.
But I tell you what, folks, it sounds like a lot of work, which it is. The best and easiest way for us is to file restraining orders on these people, because CPS will look into these documents. File restraining order, because the next gal who hooks up with this guy Barnhart might find out that he will be a bad father for their children. That's the easiest access to controlling these people. I have filed restraining orders on court.
I don't understand about these CPS deals. The mothers and the families that are able to take care of the children, they're the ones that get taken away.
Yes.
But the ones that can go out and DUI and have a rap sheet.
Here's an interesting story. We have another person, I'm not going to mention his name right now, but he is going through a horrendous custody battle for 3 different children, okay? 2 of the children are from the most current mom, okay? And he's going through a divorce with this woman. This woman has a past history, criminal history of false reporting. She's actually done, what was it, attempted assault with a deadly weapon. She tried to run her ex-boyfriend over with her vehicle. She was arrested for this. She has two felonies, 2 misdemeanors on her record, was put in prison for that. Fast forward, what is it now, 10 years, 8 years, whatever it is. She has 2 children with this contact of ours. He goes to court to simply try to get his 50% custody because this mother is concealing the children from him as we speak, not allowing him to visit with his children. And the judges at the Riverside Superior Court system are refusing to give him his proper visitation because this person went and did more false reporting and said that this person is molesting his children. So he has not seen his children for over 3.5 months because the CPS people got involved, didn't really get anything done. They had to have an investigation because those are serious allegations. The court has done nothing. He's put in contempt pleadings because she's in contempt of court right now because she's refusing to allow him the court-ordered supervised visitation of these 2 children.
So
He
what
cannot even
happened to
see
common
his. He
sense?
cannot even see his kids.
It
Has
doesn't
not seen
exist
his
here.
kids for 3 months because these dumb judges
judge?
at the Riverside County Superior
Oh,
Law Court,
that's
and
us.
I'm putting them all together because they're all dumb judges.
Is this in Riverside? A
This
judge?
is Rivers. No, this is Hammett.
Which
This is
judge?
Hammett.
Which judge is that?
This is fire tag, and he's a commissioner, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's not a judge. So,
Right.
and he's not the problem. The problem is
Michelle from
getting
Temecula
involved
CPS is
in all
horrible.
of these, with these judges, the actual judges, they must be standing around the water cooler in the kitchen, and they must be talking to each other. You know, hey Elaine, what's up? Well, I don't know, Dickie, what's going on, dude? Oh, you know that Natalie chick? She's a crazy one, isn't she? Oh yeah, you know the Lizzie, or you know the Jackie chick? She's a crazy one. Oh, that Laura Stansfield, now a Cooley chick? Oh my God, look, she's combining forces with all these people. She's nuts too. Oh, when they come into court, let's just not read their paperwork and let's just torture them. Let's
Right.
just literally torture them.
And it's funny, John goes around, does this thing, and then everybody starts hearing about John, and everybody gets together. Because you guys heard about me when I reached out to you because of Eddie George's group. So this is not 2 or 3 people. There's a lot more, and I've got 2 people. 2 people just reached out to me right now that I'm dying to read their thing.
We just want justice, you know?
Yeah, but we can't get justice because there's no law right now
At least
with the
you're
judges.
Melanie. How can Kiefer give him full custody when he has 2 DUIs and stands on trial and she's a good
Right.
mother?
Well, there's a standing charge for him.
I guarantee
let me
you, if it
tell
were one
you-
of us, we wouldn't even be able to see the
Let me-
picture of our kids less than see.
Well, yeah, that's what's happening here.
Let me tell you where this starts. Dickerson, okay? I'm going to go back to Dickerson because I'm probably
That's
one
the
of the
judge,
oldest.
right?
Yeah, he's a judge. Frederick Paul Dickerson III. He was my judge, okay? I got nothing to lose now because I'm 5 years out of this whole thing, okay? So I'm like the grandmom of everybody else's, issues with these judges. That is how her and I came to be. Okay, this is where we met each other and we became like BFFs, okay? Because she called me one day after her first court hearing or second court hearing with Dickerson, crying and saying, our mutual friend tells me that you have Judge Dickerson. And I was like, whoa, wow, okay, yes, I do. That asshole, what did he do to you? I mean, that was my exact response. Because Dickerson, for me, literally destroyed my family. Over the 5 years period of time, the parent alienation alone is ridiculous, okay? My ex-husband kidnapped my children. Kidnapped. I'm going to use the words because it is nothing short of kidnapping, okay? I went to Nigeria. I married my Nigerian husband. You probably remember me because my Nigerian husband's your bodyguard. But anyway, long story
Remember that day when we had that issue?
Okay?
Yeah, these are our
you remember
entourage.
me. He stood there and he's your entourage. But anyway, I went to Nigeria and I married my Nigerian husband. My ex-husband didn't like that. okay? He started parent alienating my children, telling my children that I did not love them, I did not care about them, because mommy's going and getting on an airplane and flying to Nigeria, and she's gonna get beheaded, she's gonna get killed, she's gonna get sold into the white sex slave trade,
Maybe
whatever.
acid washing,
Okay?
but that's the most.
Acid wash the body.
Maybe.
Get rid of me, you know, we don't negotiate with terrorists kind of stuff. Scared the living crap out of my kids, okay? I get back from Nigeria and my kids are so freaked out and so scared and so racially like biased, okay? Because the racism was just rampant. My ex-husband takes me back to court after we have a stipulated judgment agreement about the custody of the kids. We were fine. We were 50-50 legal and physical custody. Everything was going just fine. We get into this mediator's office and he says to the mediator, oh, did she tell you she just married her Nigerian husband like a month ago? And I was like, what the hell does that have to do with anything that we're talking about? Did you tell him that you married your Hispanic wife a month before me? I mean, what's the deal here, right? So the mediator got pissed off, apparently, put in his recommendation to give 70% custody, physical custody of my children to our children, or to the ex-husband, and 50% legal custody still. Then he said, oh, you guys need to go over to Suter, Dr. Suter. He's a 730 evaluator. Told my ex-husband, I'm making you pay for it because you're the one that called the, request for orders. You're the one who wants to change the custody around. You're going to go to this Suter. He ordered us to go to Dr. Suter. Did not give us a choice of 730 evaluators, which I understand now. He was supposed to give us a choice of 730 evaluators, which in my brain thought, oh wow, Dickerson's in bed with Suter. He must be paying for Suter's freaking Hawaiian vacation or some shit like that, or Suter's paying for his. I don't know. So I get over to Suter's office. Suter is this old hack, okay?
In Riverside, right?
He's in Riverside.
And where do you live at the time?
I live in Murrieta at the time.
Right, you go all the way to Riverside.
All the way up Riverside.
And what year was your case?
2015.
I was 2000, and Suter was there.
Okay.
That's how.
This dude is so old that he can't remember what his patients look like. He takes pictures of all of his patients. You start talking to him, and he can't even remember what you said to him within, 2 hours of, talking to the dude. I asked a simple question. I said to him, how are you grading these tests that you're giving us? Because they're giving us like this battery of tests, okay? I have test anxiety. I have a college degree, but that's one of my things. So I was like, what are you doing with
We're
the
down
results?
here.
How is
Destiny
this
at
gonna work, okay?
San Jacinto
So
Sheriff
I asked
Station
all
if you
these
want to come and
questions,
sign,
right?
or you
He
can
gets
PM
pissed
me.
off because he can't answer the questions. And I said to him, by the way, when we walk into the courtroom, how is this information going to be displayed? Because there's like 50 other couples sitting behind me, and I don't want my personal medical history, by the way, that's a violation of HIPAA law, all over the damn courtroom. He says, I don't know. I'm not sure. I said, you're a medical doctor. Are you not? Yes, I am. Well, then how can you not know if my HIPAA rights are going to be violated?
Yes.
Long story short, he gets pissed and says to me exact words, you're being difficult. I'm going to remand you back to Judge Dickerson. I said, remand me? I'm not a criminal. I am a concerned parent. I am not a criminal. You can't remand me anywhere. But thank you very much. Walked out of his office knowing full damn well that I was going to lose custody of my kids because he holds the reins, right? So I get out there, I get back to court, I get a letter from Suter, and it says on the letter that I'm dyslexic. Okay, first of all, I'm an English undergraduate. I have perfect grammar, perfect diction. I'm a grammar expert, okay? Literally, like if you see how I write, everybody knows there's no way in hell that this person can be a dyslexic person, okay? So I say to Judge Dickerson that he starts hammering me when I get back into court because I walked out and I told Suter, I'm not coming back to your practice. I'm not doing this. He got pissed off. Dickerson got pissed off. And so rather than listening to what I was telling him, when I said, The letter is incorrect. He starts yelling, basically bickering at me, and turns around and says, I find in favor of Mr. Stansfield. He gets 70% physical custody of your children, and you still got 50-50 custody, and you better work it out. I was so pissed when I was in the courtroom. I literally turned around and told everybody in the courtroom while I was standing there, not a single one of you is going to get a fair trial in this court. He's not listening. And he goes, bailiff, and I said, bailiff, don't worry about it. I'm leaving.
outta here.
And I start walking out, and the bailiff starts following me out of the courtroom, telling me that I'm in contempt. You know, you've got to do this. I'm like, I'm not a criminal.
Lori,
I'm simply a
how
parent.
long were you in family court? How many years?
Oh, Jesus, 5 years.
Okay,
And that's because they didn't tell us
Natalie,
to do a stipulated judgment agreement.
How many years have you been in there?
4 years.
You're
and
still 4,
ongoing.
and Jackie, how many years?
2.5.
2.5, almost 3 years. The problem with family court is the more cases they have, the more money they get. Now, how many of you tolerate a plumber coming to your house taking 4 years to fix something?
Absolutely not.
How about if you want a house built and they said a year and then it takes 4 years?
Nope.
The only family court needs to be reformed, and it should be paid when they finish a case. A case should be come in and solved within the year at most.
So my story, the culmination of my story is that 5 years later, since all of this parent alienation took place, they allowed my husband to take my children. I was 51% physical custody. I was the primary household. My kids were in excellent schools in Murrieta, the best schools that money can basically buy. I mean, in the best neighborhood, right? My ex takes them out of those good schools, takes them up to Chino, and puts them in the mid-range. My daughter graduated from Don Lugo High School, okay, which is like an average high school in the area. Granted, she did end up
How you
going
doing,
to
sir?
college.
Good.
But the point is,
Thank you for joining us.
Is that I'm still alienated from those children.
You're not with
Because
law
the court
enforcement, are you?
never did anything. They never
Okay,
did
good.
anything except for going in and
Are you a registered voter?
So
now they're destroying
basically,
Awesome.
the story I'm hearing right now from all three of you guys, it sounds like the criminals are the ones that's getting them more rights than
That's
anything.
right. They're giving the abusers, custody of our children. And they're allowing for parent alienation. They're allowing for these parents, these other parents, or whoever it is, criminal parents, non-criminal parents, but alienators, abusers, to actually have full custody of their children. They are encouraging the division of the family
Lori,
in Riverside.
Eddie's got to go to another
Okay,
thing,
sorry.
but Natalie, could you tell us what we need to do to reach out to you, and maybe to Eddie how he can help? Because Eddie, people listen to you. Watch your
I don't know why
group
they listen to me. I'm just a crazy guy with a lazy eye. you
with
know?
great, beautiful hair like John Denlos, huh?
I know, yeah,
Huh?
check it out.
Look at
Well-
this. Well, somebody says we look like twins. I don't know. That's an insult for.
I'm the better
For
looking
him.
one, though.
Definitely, guaranteed. A mustache. Show me your
Exactly.
mustache.
What are we going to do?
How's your mustache? Oh yeah, yours is much better.
Real quick, though, I do want to say something to this young lady here about your situation with the PD here. The only advice I would give you really is try to call down here next business day and ask for Kenneth Reichel. He's the Sergeant in Chief here.
Kimberly, we'll wait here as long as you need to get here.
Tell him your story. Kenneth is a real great guy. He will listen to you and explain to him what's happening and see if he can guide you the
Because
right
to
way.
be honest, Eddie, I'm scared now. I feel like I got like a slap on the face. But I will listen to you.
Not all of them are bad.
Because,
Not all of them.
Ken, Chief is, Chief Reichel, well, he's like I say, he's the acting chief here. He's a fair person, and he don't want the public to be scared to come to them.
You're not as much scared now, are you?
No.
You were before, though.
Laura and Natalie, they inspire me, and we're gonna fight.
And Pastor Brian's right here with us, our councilman of San Jacinto. He
Oh
was
wow!
about-
I'm sorry, I'm not from around here. You look important, Councilman. This is an honor. Who?
Pastor Brian Hawkins.
Oh, why didn't you say something?
Because you were video.
Well, I just thought a big black guy comes up. I figured I was going to get arrested. They're about to take me down.
Anyways, he'll vouch for Kenneth too. He's a great guy.
We just want justice. We want, and you know what, Eddie? People are reaching out to me, women, and look. I just want to make it clear: there's good fathers out there. Okay, not just But I don't believe in mother rights or father rights. I was just telling
Parents'
them. I
rights,
believe in
yeah.
a real parent. A parent who's going to be a good parent, showing them the right path, showing them about God, preaching them, and having them be
Showing good
successful.
examples.
And good examples.
Exactly, good examples,
But
good
it's
manners.
just so sad to see that people, we need you guys to speak up. Don't be afraid. I'm literally shaking because, you know, I have a reputation, some people might know me, but I'm here because of my daughter. And I know there's a lot of parents out there that are struggling. So if you guys can help by speak up and share your story.
I guess that's what's calling me right now, is these sirens. So I guess we got another news story going on. But anyways, this is what I want to ask everybody.
You're supposed to be protecting and providing.
I just got back in town right now, but
All right, I want to go ahead and ask everybody, if you will, if you're still alive, John.
Yeah, I'm alive.
Please share this video and let's help these ladies get their story out. And come down here. I don't know how long you're going to be here, but come down, sign the signatures, to get these guys recalled. And until then, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got something going on down.
No, I appreciate it. No.
And, make sure y'all share these ladies' stories.
Yep.
This is Eddie George, the crazy guy with lazy eye. I'm out of here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll see you.
Now we got Pastor involved too, so we're not all
Well,
alone.
this
See you
isn't
later, bro. I'm
just
gonna go catch
Pastor
this.
Brian Hawkins.
He's a councilman.
He's the San Jacinto. He's the newly elected San Jacinto councilman.
Right. So
Yeah.
so this is good.
So I mean, it's awesome.
So you
that
guys
he
don't
came
need
down.
me. I can go back to
No,
Nevada
the
where
fact-
I'm safe.
The fact that he came down here to,
Right.
to actually show his support. Is,
Right. That's awesome.
It's a blessing. Thank you. I
oh, absolutely. No, I don't
Yeah.
want nobody. I don't know the fullness of the story, but anytime I see somebody hurt,
Yeah.
I see a mother in
No,
tears and everything.
these. I'm going to tell you right now. This is bigger than just San Jacinto. Okay.
Right.
This is the superior. This is the Riverside County Superior Family Law Court. Okay. And we have not just these three ladies. Myself.
I've gone through it.
I went through this like 5 years ago, and you know me and my husband.
Absolutely.
And when I married my husband, there was even racism involved in our situation,
Yes,
and it caused parent alienation. It caused a lot of family hurt, a lot of divisiveness and stuff. But I met all of these ladies because they all started with the same family law court judge that I had. And I've made it my mission in life, literally, and I'm not going to stop until they reform that family law court, because
let's
judges
get
are.
together, because I want to hear the fullness of the story. I want to hear exactly what's going on, and then let's put a call out to how many mothers, fathers, are going through.
And that's what we're hoping people do. Reach out to us right now.
We've got about 30 something
Let's
families.
start here. So let's get this together.
Definitely.
But Pastor, can I tell you something?
Yes, sir.
You're a shepherd, right?
Yes, sir.
And the way this system works here, folks, if you are, I like to use the word illegal because I'm old, but you dreamers, if you're dreamers, guess what? They have made it safe. The law enforcement, if you call them, they have to protect you. Does that make sense? And I spend my life trying to tell these guys, call the cops. They're like, no, John, they'll arrest me. They won't.
And that's the thing. And that's what's so sad about 2020, where the whole defund the
Shelby.
police and everything, and made people, they have an oath. And I understand the media want to put bad cops on the TV and paint this picture.
But
But there's some really
They're
good
great
cops
cops.
out there, and there's some ones that really want to do the right thing and not break up families. I haven't met a cop yet to say, oh, I just wake up in the morning, I want to destroy a family.
Right.
All right, and so I don't want to, we're not going to paint this picture, but like I said, at the end of the day, I'm glad. I saw the news feed. I just got back in town right now, and I was on my way going home. Like, I'm tired, but I saw the news feed. It popped up on my phone. I was literally right there. I made a U-turn. Somebody tagged me. Thank you, Olivia. She tagged me in it, and when I got the tag, I came here immediately because this is what I got voted for.
Right.
To make sure that you guys know you have a voice. And so I don't want nobody feeling afraid and feeling scared or anything like that, because you feel like, because you're a dreamer, and the way the media has made people feel afraid, you don't have to feel like that. And I don't want you to feel like that. All right, I got your back. We're going to get together. She knows me. So let's set up and put together a team to where we can find out the legal way of doing it. Even if it means that we got to raise money, get attorneys and stuff like that.
Oh, she's an attorney. We just got to get a whole bunch of paralegals.
She's an
Okay, well,
attorney.
good.
Yeah.
She's
So
a
there we
victim.
go.
And she's been arrested. She's been arrested illegally. So we're suing the Marietta Police
She was
Department.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
there's a lot going on here, but you're right. We do
Okay.
need to do it legally. One
Absolutely.
of the things we were gonna start doing too is we've been reaching out to other politicians in the area. For instance, Melissa Melendez, our senator.
She's very good. Very good
She's
person.
extremely well versed.
Right.
And we're going to call her, talk to her about what's going on, because this is a big issue. This is a
Right.
small issue.
serious systemic problem, and it's not just Riverside, but it's pretty
I mean, it's
pervasive here.
very pervasive.
Yeah.
in
But
Riverside.
here's the thing. In the old days, the church, the government couldn't enter the church and extract you. That's where the pastors need to come back, make these little places a safe haven. You take your child and you run to the pastor, and then Deputy Krabee would be standing there crying because he can't touch you because religion rules. We have the right to have religion in this country. That's what I'm saying. That's why this is a blessing,
here's
him
the big
here.
Issue. The biggest issue that I see with all of what's going on, with all of these different cases, and like we said, it's pervasive and systemic, is that at the heart of this, it's tearing apart the family.
Of course,
Okay.
because that's what the evil wants to do. The devil wants to
Right.
tear the family,
Right.
so that way there's so many zombies walking around and completely lost.
But the education needs to exist. I mean, it needs
Well,
to be
the
there.
first education is we stand next to the pastor, we stand around the pastor, and good Christian. Oh my God,
Give me your phone.
there's my
I'm
phone.
gonna fire you as a cameraman. All we seeing in live stream is their way. So
Well, you know what?
you get in there and talk. There we go.
A lot of people don't know this, but I became a minister back in 2014, December. All right, quiet, because it's between God and I. I do what I can for people. I actually fight for what I can. People say, John, don't you get any money? I said, I wish I could get some gas money, but I use my Social Security. You know, it paid off, Pastor. You know what God did? Too bad. That same place here doesn't exist. And if it did, it'd be like $1,500 for a 2-bedroom house. You see? So I got paid back. So what I'm saying is, use things for people, and you're not going to get it today. But when you just can't take it anymore, and when the white man from Marietta wants to call you Antifa, and you're all done is just tell people, we need to stand up, stand by for folks, for victims, for people fighting for the cause.
And
This
John,
man's
if you
a
will-
pastor who turned into a city councilman, that's exactly what we need here in San Jacinto.
And John, if you will, refresh people on why they're wanting to sign.
Oh, the
Who were they
petition
signing
recall.
for?
Natalie, can you explain that to us?
Just refresh people about their recall.
court system and get rid of these incompetent, biased, discriminatory judges who are not reading pleadings. We want that they're not doing their job, and they need to be forced into retirement. And so we're circulating a petition to recall these judges Kiefer and Judges Dickerson, and
any other judge that actually starts presenting with not doing their jobs.
We need what other communities have, people overseeing things, right? That's what we have to have, is a committee of folks overseeing the court system.
This is a watchdog effort. For
Right,
sure.
but I used to go to Riverside and watch the judges, and I'm like, wow, this guy's a great judge. This is a great judge. And then I go outside and say, hey, you got a judge in here? You're screwed. Try to get to another department. I come down here, and I can't get past Dickerson. I can't get past Elaine. They're just too much. There's so many clients that is reaching out to Natalie. We need paralegals. We need other attorneys. We need Mike Hestron out of office if he is going to fix his problem.
We've sat, and him and I have sat as advocates now, because I got nothing to lose anymore. I mean, my children are grown, but my children grew alienated from me.
Right.
Okay? And that was at the hands of these rogue judges. But now I go sit in these courtrooms. I've sat with Natalie in her courtroom. I've sat in other people's courtrooms listening to these judges adjudicate, and There's no common sense. There's no reason. They're not even employing the judicial canons. They're not employing the
You're
law.
sitting in the judge's thing, but in COVID-19, they've removed us from being able to see what's
Which is
going
a
on.
violation of our constitutional
So there should
rights.
no be
They're
trials.
violating
There
our
should be
First
no
Amendment,
trials.
our 14th
Patrick
Amendment,
Lamar
our 6th
Watson,
Amendment.
4 years. He's been, no, I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. They even tried him this beginning of this year. Now they're turning around, and what happens? They have him, and she's representing them, because this is what happens. I go do my thing, and everybody's reaching out, John, we need an attorney. So I turn them over to Natalie. She's now representing Moses Estrada. She's representing Patrick Lamar Watson, and Moses Estrada's Kiefer also. And now she's representing Jackie, right? The point is does Kiefer Elaine go away because there's a conflict of interest in an attorney? No, she's holding on. And Elaine Keifer, the reason why she's that she is, she had a bad divorce. Her and Johnson.
So I don't want to get into that part.
I understand, but no, that's the
yeah,
part.
yeah.
He got
So-
divorced. But the point is, she's now gone to the part she doesn't care about anybody.
So my thing is, and this is like I said, because you know, me personally, like I'm walking into a portion of the story.
Right.
And so that's how I want to sit down and get the fullness of it, because a lot of times we just hear bits and sound bites, and I don't want to make this a soundbite thing. You know, people.
Well, I don't do soundbite.
No. I'm not
Everybody,
saying-
John Denloff's DENILOFS. Look at my profile. This week has all been about Jackie. The week before it's about somebody else. I can step by step. I had to get out of California because Michelle from CPS down there was trying to extract my kids, because I'm over here fighting for Moses' children. I shouldn't have to lose my children when I'm fighting for your children. That's how bad Temecula CPS is. All right? And by the way, me and Lori, we've got a lot in common, because I married myself a Kenyan woman. And then guess what? The same spaghetti place I ate for 20 years started to hate me because I walked in with a beautiful black woman. All right? So I got rid of her because I need that spaghetti.
Oh my God. All right, you got Shell Marie says she's about 3 minutes away.
Okay,
worries,
we'll wait
no
for
worries.
her. So we have the
Thank you.
petition here
Yeah,
for signature.
I do, because the thing
I
is,
encourage each of you who are having problems with the court system to reach out to the presiding judge, John Monteroso, and for the family court presiding judge, it's Judge Jennifer Gerard. Also write to the Commission for Judicial Performance. You can Google it. They are an agency of the state that is supposed to oversee biased, discriminatory, incompetent judges, and you're supposed to, you know, they take complaints and review them, and we would hope discipline judges, but you know, they're not doing their job either. So the more vocal we can become, I think the more we can bring about the needed change in our court system.
Now, can people sign your petition online? Have you went through change.org and made a petition online yet?
No, I haven't, but thank you for the recommendation. I'll
Yeah, definitely do
But
that. Now, how
you
can
reach
people?
out to us through Recall Elaine Keifer, our Facebook site, and we will make sure that we get the petition to
And
them.
can you spell that for people just so
So
they?
it's on Facebook. It's our group is Recall Elaine, ELAINE Keifer, KIEFER.
There you go.
Or I think it's Recall Judge Elaine Keifer. Yeah. So
Okay.
hopefully it'll, you know, search for it. It'll pop up.
Yes.
All right.
Elaine Keifer.
Okay, and take that advice I give, or was it her? Okay, her. Take my advice that I gave you about, you know, your deputy issue. All right, well, we're going to go ahead, I guess. I don't know where John went. He disappeared. So we're going to go ahead and end this live stream. Appreciate Pastor Brian coming out. And like I say, you guys share this video. Help these ladies get some good judges in town.
Yes, yes.
For the
that's-
work, please join our page. We need more people.